Thanks to the Gridiron Club. This is my 16th year at these luncheons, and when I first came aboard, I really wanted no part of it. And here's what I mean by that. Like a coach thinks, oh boy, it's going to take busy time on his schedule, I've got things to do. And then when you first come here and you realize all the great people, the great tradition is, it's something that I look forward to every week. Part of it's the food from Tees, but it's just great to see the same faces and the coaches from the other colleges are in the area every week. We feel like kind of like the little kids at the table at Thanksgiving. We've been watching games for the last 2 weeks and we haven't played. And all of our kids, all of our players got a chance to watch some of the great games on TV last week, the Notre Dame-Michigan game, the USC-Ohio State game, and all it does is kind of whet your appetite. And, we feel like we've been in practice forever. We're dying to get going. From that standpoint, coming into the preseason, the most obvious questions that we had to answer were quarterback on offense and the linebacking core on defense. Quarterback because we have been quarterbacked for the better part of 2 years by Chris Bizzotti, last year's Ivy League Player of the Year, and just a tremendous football player. He was, I believe, 20-2 as a starter. So the second string kid, Liam O'Hagan, led the Ivy League in total offense his sophomore year. So losing those two kids certainly left a void there. And the biggest difference, I think, at quarterback this year is going to be about 7 inches. Chris was 6'5", and this year Collier Winters, who's a junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, is 5'10". I think it's going to be business as usual. We think he's a quality player. Obviously, that's something that he has to prove, but he's got a solid offensive line, running backs, and receiving core, so that should help to ease the transition. Defensively, we lost two first-team All-Ivy linebackers last year. Both kids happen to be from Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to miss those guys because they started for 3 years, so they had a ton of experience. I think the transition, again, is eased a little bit because we've got 4 senior linebackers working for 3 positions. And guys like Nick Hasselberg, John Takamura, Sean Hayes, is one example. Those guys give us some quality players that we think will plug in, if not seamlessly, will plug in very well. Going into the Holy Cross game, it's a big challenge. The obvious thing is that they're playing the 3rd game, so they've already got the kinks out. They've also had several more weeks of practice, obviously, so we're going to have to be on top of our game right away. They've got a quarterback who is truly a special player. I think that word gets thrown around a lot, but when you consider his statistics, they're staggering. I thought he had graduated with his 10,000 yards and 2-time Patriot League Player of the Year, so I don't think I've heard any kid at any level gunning for his 3rd straight Conference Player of the Year award. And he's also a 3-time captain. He's truly one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and they've also got a very strong defense. I think they're #1 in the country in total defense right now, so we will certainly have our hands full. Again, it's great to be back here. I want to congratulate R.J. Tolman and Nathan Scher for their gold helmet performances, and good luck to everybody this week.
The Husky must host a pernicious Penguin.
Thank you, Jack. I too would like to thank the Gridiron Club for taking command and helping us with the Gold Helmet Award. First, I'd like to quickly recap our contest against Maine. The standard saying we all have in the coaching world is that you have the greatest improvement from week 1 to week 2. Well, we showed pretty good improvement on the defensive side of the football. We fit up into the run scheme much better than we had the previous week against Boston College. Created 4 turnovers. Philip Higgins continues to lead the team in tackles. Nate Thelen continues to be very steady in his performance from the safety position. Chris Burns, a young man that's a senior that has risen up and made some plays for us. He caused 2 fumbles on Saturday and was a part of the creating of the 4 takeaways that we were able to get from Maine. Offensively, with Alex Dolsky still being on the sideline with concussion, Matt Carroll, a redshirt freshman, was the young man that had to step in and take charge. And he progressed reasonably well throughout the contest, but obviously when you have a redshirt freshman out there, the playbook isn't quite as thick, and consequently there were some things that we see after the ball game we probably should have had in the game plan and that kind of thing, so we continue to progress in that light. We did move the football, did see improvements. The one thing that was a significant deterrent for us is we had 10 penalties, 6 of which were holding penalties, and you know that a holding penalty in offense is a pretty sure drive stopper, and we did not overcome those. Another young man that improved very nicely for us is Ron Conway. He had 3 punts that were downed inside the 20-yard line, created some field position for us, and was a pretty good factor in the contest. This week, with the Penguins coming to town, Youngstown is one of the more storied programs in all of FCS football. They have 4 national championships under the belt. They played in a couple more. They did not have the kind of year that they hoped to have in 2008, so they are hungry this year. A much improved football team. Defensively, they have a very big defensive line. They had 2 young men that are up front that are over 300 pounds. One is named Fernandez, another one's Savage. Nicholson's also a young man that's very big on that defensive front. And being that size, you'd think, well, they're kind of slugs on the inside. Well, they aren't slugs. They run around very well. Linebackers are good. They have a transfer from Michigan. He is a very solid player. His name's Taylor Hill. He beat out a guy that played every game and started every game for 2 years, so you know that he's a very good football player. And they have a safety that you take very good notice of. He's number 25, but his name is Sir DeMarco Bledsoe. And when you watch him play, you understand why he's called Sir, because he gets after it pretty well. We're looking forward to the challenge that Youngstown brings to the contest. Alex Dolsky practiced last night, looked reasonably well. You know, you just don't know how things are going to continue to pan out with that concussion kind of thing, and he was symptom-free, so we're very optimistic that he'll be back on the field on Saturday. We'll continue to grow and progress as a football team, and we're looking forward to the challenge. Congratulations. That's a very special award, and we hope that you see your way back here again. Good luck to everybody, and we'll see you next week.
The Buccaneers got Golden Beaver pelts last week and Massage Seagulls Saturday.
It's my first time here. I really appreciate you having us down, and Jim Seavey for getting us here. And obviously Nathan Sure. I want to thank the New England football writers as well as the Gridiron Club of Greater Boston. This week we have Endicott. Last week we were fortunate enough to beat a good MIT team, and they were a really good football team, MIT. We had the year we wanted last year, so we needed to get off to a good start. We were able to do that. Endicott will certainly cause some more problems for us this week. They've got a good football team. They're solid on offense. They're very good on special teams. They've got a couple of transfer defenders from 1AA schools that can really play. One of their defensive ends, Kevin Egan, will certainly cause us some problems. But I think that with guys like Nathan and Matt White, Doug Dyke in the backfield, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape, and we're excited to get going. Thanks again. Let me do this now. This award, we're going to present it to Nathan Sure. This past weekend he had 26 rushes for over 325 yards, broke a school record. He also helped us break a school record for total offense in the game at 545 yards, and so just missed the total points for a record. Nathan transferred from UConn, so when he first got here, you know, you don't know what to expect of you. He's coming to a team that was not good last year, coming from a higher level. He was a great high school football player. We recruited him out of high school. He obviously chose to go to a bigger place and try it there. So when he came here, you know, you don't know what to expect. He came in just absolutely focused on being the best football player he could be at Mass Maritime. Now he's set his sights on being the best football player in our conference. Last week against MIT, they had a really, really good running back named Deron Brown, who was a preseason All-American in Division III. And, you know, I don't know if Nathan kind of set his sights on that game in particular. You know, the week before he rushed just about 200, but I kind of thought that in his mind, he is really, really focused on being the best. And when the preseason All-American came in, he certainly answered the bell. One of the hardest workers you're going to see at practice. We had 2 starting tailbacks that played a lot last year. They have taken a little bit of a back seat to him, and he has helped those guys and made them better players, and he makes everybody else a little bit better. So it gives us a lot of confidence going into next week and every week. When you have a special player like this, you have a chance. So congratulations, Nathan.
First, I'd like to thank the New England football writers and the Gridiron Club of Greater Boston for this award. I'm very honored to receive it. And also I'd like to thank my offensive line, my running backs. It's a whole offense, really everyone but the quarterback is blocking. So, I mean, the holes were huge last week, which was great for me. And the coaching staff has been great, preparing us every week for games, and it's been a good time so far. Hopefully we can keep it going, keep getting wins. And that's really it. Thanks again for